I said I wasn't sure if there was going to be a video, but I still wanted to make this one at the very least, and this is going to be the timeline of Collargate. I just feel like it's useful to have a video where you can actually just see how things have played out, because so much has happened, there's so much information, and there's so many different people who've covered the situation, but no one has like a concise video to show you how everything has played out. No, but listen, not everyone has the time to watch like a 10-hour stream covering all this shit, right? So I just thought I'd be useful, do some research, and figure this all out. So yeah, I wanted to put this video in with as like a whole. This was going to be a much bigger video, but there was a lot of editing that went into this, so I'm just going to do this part, and yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. October 7th. Some have coined it Dogtober 7th and have pointed out the irony that this happened on October 7th. So we have the first thing, which is the alleged shock happens, which is the devastating clip that we've all come to see. This particular clip actually got over 43 million views on Twitter by that Yeet guy, so that was pretty crazy. And we get our first excuse ever in this moment, where Hasan says she yelped because she clipped herself on something when she was getting off the bed. That is what he said. Asmongold brings up the clip of Jennifer Welch saying Kai's collar is too tight and she thinks he's choking her. She seems to really care about the dog and is very specific in her language that she can't even get one finger between the collar and Kai's neck. Very alarming information. Of course, she later walks us back. More on that later.
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we get.
You have to be able to get two fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's she has a lot of neck meat.
At this point, XQC was also trying to identify the collar just by looking at the video zoomed in. October 8th, Hasan addresses the Collargate scandal and shows off the collar and says, this is the collar that people were talking about, this is the one they saw, confirming in his own video, in his own words, this was the collar she was wearing when the supposed incident occurred. He makes a really good job at placing his fingers conveniently on the back part where the prongs would be, and also does some very quick cuts when he shows that part. Already, it feels like something is being hidden here, so people were quick to scrutinize it. Forbes also comes out with an article. October 9th, Moist Critical, also known as Charlie, Penguin Zero, comes out and gives his opinion. Charlie goes on to say that place training was really crucial for his dog Tetra, as they like to jump on people. He never did any fear-based training, which was what shock and vibration collars are used for. So more on those differences later, maybe in the next video, that's what I wrote here. Yep. Charlie also notes that it seems as though Hasan reaches off view for something and then places something down. Hasan has said that this was his zins he was reaching for, but never put anything in his mouth. More on that later too. And we can all agree that it would be easy, super easy, to have already just shown the collar on the day, as Charlie also points out, instead of waiting so long to show it. He could have just cleared the air right then and there, but didn't do that. A clip comes out featuring Hasan and FaZe and some other dude. Sorry, I don't know who you are or what your name is. They talk about their trainer Pat, who trains with shock collars. No mention of e-collar or vibration collars here, but it does mean that whatever training they were doing, it means you can have your dog off leash. Pog.
I have the best trainer in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
His name is Pat. Do you send him
He trained my dog too.
And my dog.
Brian.
You sent him for 2 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks. You have to, bro.
What does he get trained to do?
So everything. Shock on, prong collar, shock collar.
He'll get training to like
Kaya?
basically be off collar.
You know
Like you
Kaya?
don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Really?
Do you know Kaya?
My dog?
Cooking with Kaya?
No, my dog.
Oh, no.
Well, dude, we have the
Oh, yeah, I met your dog.
Yes.
It's a basketball man.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the best
She's
dog.
very well trained. Oh my.
Hasan also calls the controversy a far-right coordinated attack and pro-Israel slander campaign. Boy, you ain't seen nothing yet, Hasan. This was on his story. Elon Musk reacts to Collargate memes on Twitter, so it's quite mainstream by this point. And there's a video of Hasan pulling his dog Fish by the tail angrily that resurfaces at this point.
Hey, motherfucker, come here. Stay. No, come here.
Hasan also comments on Moist Critical's video saying he wishes Charlie had have reached out to him privately instead. He also tries to attack Charlie's credibility by saying he's afraid of getting on a plane. Isn't Cutie Cinderella also afraid of flying? And given the current climate for American air traffic controllers, the state of the government, the aviation industry, I think everyone should probably be afraid of flying, in my opinion. Although, I'm Australian, so maybe I only have my outsider knowledge. Billy D makes a video, talks about the controversy, but says that Hasan told him it was all a hoax, so Phil reckons it's all good. October 10th, Valkyrie, Hasan's alleged girlfriend, comments saying she wishes the genocide got as much attention as this situation did. Priorities are just not in order, girly. A Twitter user bought the alleged shock collar, examined it, and also cut off the prongs and put electrical tape over it to try and replicate what Hasan seemed to have. The result? Very convincing. A Fox News show does a segment on Collargate. This is very important for later, so remember this. Maybe it's important for the other video that I'll do. Hasan says the rebranded e-collar is a fine way to train your dogs and that people have the misconception that they're just gonna generally abuse their dogs with it. The outrage over the e-collar shock collar thing is due to Hasan's point of view that everyone is just not training their dogs. He should address the countries that have these collars banned. And we have excuse number 2 that just dropped in this moment, which is that she actually wasn't wearing a collar, ever. And if she was, it's not actually that bad. They're actually fine collars to use. And Nicholas Diorio says he's not convinced it's a vibration collar. October 11th. Westside Tyler makes a video on how easy the prongs are to accidentally take them off when tightening the extenders with the manufactured Allen key, as according to a video.
Videos online from people well acquainted with the use and operations of the RX-090 warn against over-torquing the contact prongs when attaching them to the terminals, because the terminals can be broken this way.
Finger tighten in the beginning, and then tighten them down just a little bit with the Allen key. Don't over tighten them because you can break those metal posts if you really reef on it, which you don't want to do.
iDubbbz, sorry, that must have been a typo, oh my god. iDubbbz comes out and defends Hasan, although note, this was not the first time that the Joe Mahars had commented in his defense. It's just the first video where iDubbbz says the collar was confirmed to be a vibrator model. This will be funny later, I swear. XQC mentions Ludwig saying he quit his entire channel because he couldn't make videos that Hasan would totally agree with, allegedly, which will be important for you to remember later. Again, Denims. We have a colossal Denims clip where she says that the tape is fake and photoshopped. More on that later.
Kaya being the sweetest little angel on the planet, and multiple testimonials from people who've actually interacted with Kaya, all saying that she's a sweetheart. I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go for that. I think I'm going to go for that over this one screenshot that someone fucking doctored. This is the proof that it was photoshopped. Yeah, I was looking at this. Someone like pulled up and said, the tape doesn't exist. You've not looked at the video. If you had, you would have spotted the immediately that no such tape exists. Clean image, doctored image, followed by different angles under the same exposure settings as the original doctored image, standard and zoom. And they're just showing that it makes no sense for this image to be doctored. And they're just showing that it makes no sense for this image to be doctored. Or sorry, it makes no sense for people to be believing this when the image itself is actually fucking doctored.
And so we have our next excuse. And the excuse is that there is no tape. There never was any tape. No tape. All photoshopped, bro. October 12th, Valkyrie reveals she DMs people like Asmongold for advice on whether she should respond to the LSF subreddit or not, defending Hasan. Her community proceeds to get very upset with her for conversing, in their words, with a Nazi. Hasan uses every single gaslighting manipulative talking point to try and make his viewers feel guilty about Collargate.
Your haters want you to be reactive to the dog, which is the number one thing you don't do. Caesar Milano South Park literally had an episode about this. I know. My haters are causing me to be more reactive to my dog when she's being spoiled, and then train her in the opposite direction, train her into thinking that she can just like get my attention by crying in the background. Okay, which is bad. But what are you going to do? Fuck it. I'll just destroy all of the training that I've worked very, very hard on to reinforce now that, the entire internet thinks I'm fucking abusive unless I, let my dog do whatever she wants and then run the show like this.
And we also see all he has to do to get Kaya back in her spot, doesn't call it place, interesting, is to just glare at her.
I have a good friend of mine that used to be Van's producer back in the day. Back when he was in the look, see, spot training is already failing because I already let her fucking. I already let her do whatever she wants now. See, this is how it works. Okay, she expands on the readily available confines. Okay, do you see that? Thank you, haters. You have successfully ruined. You have. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you this dub. Dogs are like kids. They push boundaries. And then they. Earlier, I saw they were mad at content creator touched their plants too hard, that they were abusing the plant. The internet is now full of concerned citizens. This controversy was like catnip. I know.
Another clip surfaces pre-Dogtober 7th of Hasan doing the exact same action of looking away, seemingly using something, and then Kaya all of a sudden jolts up out of her bed position to reposition herself.
A commemorative mug I got from England. Specifically for
Hutch covers another resurfaced clip of Hasan doing the exact same sequence of actions that results in the exact same thing, Kaya going to her bed. Very mysterious.
absolute garbage. Did you compare this to the Japanese airport experience? Yeah, the Japanese airport experience is like everything works, everything is fast. Kaya, place.
Grabs the thing.
Get back there. What is this? Don't worry.
I mean that's 100% right. This one's kind of hard because it's like she's not in frame, So
yeah, here, drop
and
a lot of they go
even deeper. What they found is that Politico over several years has gotten $44,000 from USAID for subscriptions. Now Politico
okay, switches. Okay, so he's got a different scene to get her in frame. All right. So that's obviously something that is like on his mind.
October 13th. Buckle in, guys. A lot happened October 13th. A clip of Hasan talking about how Kaya is leashed to the elevated dog bed so she knows to sit on it for hours on end surfaces. Valkyrie apologizes for deigning to ask Asmongold for an opinion on something that he's probably pretty experienced in. Another Hasan clip surfaces of Kaya wanting to get out of her bed and attempting to leave it multiple times, with Hasan glaring at her and telling her, "Down!" Lots of people didn't find this very nice. Sidian, don't know who that is, but they spoke about Hasan, vouched for him, saying that he takes very good care of Kaya and that e-collar training is actually very common, especially for big dogs, and that the collar vibrates, it doesn't shock, and Kaya was probably being dramatic anyway. Okay, love to hear it. Except it's interesting here because QT already confirmed that it was a collar with prongs, so I feel like now we can't really trust this person, can we? Or at least it was a collar that had a spot full of prongs that were no longer there. Lily Pichu and Pokemon's podcast episode featuring Hasan was cancelled by the crew. Another clip surfaces of Hasan allegedly doing the shocking in front of Austin's show. Again, the same sequence of movements that result in the same outcome, Kaya going to her bed. This now, I think, kind of implicates Austin's show, meaning that he now might have to be bold-faced lying to cover for Hasan.
My niece said they all say gay now and the R word. I'm shook. Wait, what do you mean? That's never stopped. That was the case when we were young too. Hey, out. Place. Kaya, place. Go. No, place. Enough of this madness.
Pokimane then comes out and says the team cancelled the Sweet and Sour episode without approval, and now they have to restructure their podcast because the team seemingly revolted? Yikes. Hasan explains the reaching you see in the clips is him reaching for the dog gate button on his desk, which causes her to perk up.
Guys that don't even know Kaya's name, coming in here saying you'll be I know. Can we just move on, please? Because the memes were funny in the first couple of days, but now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill, in the way that like anytime my fucking arm moves around or like I unlock the gate or some shit, like I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously if you have a dog, you know this already, when they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, oh my God, he shocked her again. You know, it's just, they are weird stalkers that are demonstrating their mental illness. And I think it's just, you know, it is what it is. Bro, they are narrating your dog absolutely schizos. Yeah, it's cop brain. This is going to be a post on its own again. I know. Anytime I bring anything up, anytime I even address this, like people go fucking nutty over it. So I feel like I am giving it too much energy. I know, but like chatters also are like, oh, this happened, that happened, whatever. Yeah. In any case.
Another Hasan clip goes viral, showing a suspicious looking controller on Hasan's desk that he subtly moves out of frame, which is where the famous soy meme comes from, which is one of my personal favorites out of all the memes that came out of this.
Wide shot. Okay, I'm gonna turn this back. Boom.
Yes, again. Hi, Jack. Go to the camera, huh?
No.
Think about going outside.
And we have another excuse. I'm reaching out of frame, and just so happens in all these clips, I'm also telling my dog to go back to her bed. And I'm also reaching for Zins, but I'm never putting them in my mouth. Oh, it's actually a dog gate button, or it's some sort of gate button that she just loves to see. She associates me pressing that button with freedom, maybe. I don't know. Alright. October 14th. The Fear and crew defend Hasan, saying they never saw anything bad. But then pack it up, everybody, because later, a second colossal clip has hit the timeline. And this is the clip where Cutie Cinderella confirms that she went and had a look at the collar herself and noted that the electric prongs, or there was a place for prongs that had been taken out, and it was indeed taped up. So this kind of just shows us that everyone so far who said that the tape was doctored, it was fake, it's just vibration, it doesn't have shock capabilities, all these people are just big-ass fucking liars and idiots. Who would have thought?
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Like, it's only a vibrate. Like, there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's only since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
A Medium article drops where a journalist takes a screenshot of Hasan's hand holding the collar and asks the educator's company manufacturer what model they thought it was. They confirmed to their best ability that it was, from what they could see, a shock model. But, to be certain, the tape would need to come off, ergo, the point of the tape. October 15th. Caroline Kwan claims the collar is not a shock collar right after Cutie had confirmed it was one with the prongs taken out. Caroline also bats for Hasan, saying he never addressed it in the moment on October 7th because he didn't know it would become such a big deal.
It's not a shock collar. I've seen that collar. I've used that collar before. I've babysat that dog. But again, it doesn't matter. I also said too, you know, I think it was something Hasan didn't realize in the moment, that it was going to end up being a shitstorm like this.
Another Hasan clip surfaces where he kept Fiona, I believe his brother's dog, trapped in a small enclosed space with Kaya as a puppy and only one dog bed, effectively making it a battle royale showdown style fight for the dog bed. Use code That's So Katie on Epic Games. Hasan says he wants the dog to bite Kaya. It's pretty awful, to be honest.
I don't know if putting them in a confined space like this together is a good idea, but we're about to see very quickly. She will most likely recognize, she will very quickly learn that that's probably a mistake. Because if she keeps pushing Fiona, Fiona is going to bite. Oh, there we go. Good job, Fiona. You fucking tell her. One thing I will tell you, I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her. What do you mean? That they had to chop it. I know Fiona wants out. She's not getting out, though. Fiona snaps at her. She'll just go, ah, 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 and like run away. Run away like a fucking goofball crying. It's the funniest thing on the fucking planet. Oh, Fiona, stay in there. She needs to learn. See? See? She wants out. See?
The wind, children.
Did you see that? I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so fucking funny.
A clip shows Cutie and Ludwig seemingly annoyed with the phase group for farming the clip of Cutie trying to defend Hasan by talking about the tape and the prongs. Hutch covers Taylor Lorenz, saying that soldering and removing the prongs would be basically impossible to do. Do I need to add anything else here? I don't think so.
House stream, bad actors attempted to leverage the fact that he put a small piece of tape on the back to conceal his phone number, which is like written in Sharpie on the back of the little.
I don't even know where she came up with that. Like, what are you talking? When did he say that?
Vibration box as evidence that he somehow secretly modified and soldered down shock collar prongs, something that would basically be like impossible to do, like impossible.
This what she just said is just so embarrassingly not true. Like, this is so embarrassing. She's a journalist.
October 16th. Sasha Grey throws her hat into the ring and says the prongs, they can't be cut off. They cannot be removed. They just can't.
I saw someone who provided info of the collar when he showed it. He took out the contact points and put electrical tape over it. I watched the same clip. There's no tape. And you can't take those points out. You cannot cut the prongs off that's what I'm saying. The cope is so hard.
Hasan says at the original conversation, Kaya never even had the collar on, or she had some different collar on. He just showed the collar in the original video addressing it because people were looking at other moments of where she was wearing a different collar, and so he's just trying to be like, listen guys, this is her collar. So I guess he was effectively trying to say that it was the wrong collar, or she was never wearing a collar, but that doesn't really make sense to me because you can clearly see in the original October 7th clip, she was definitely wearing a collar, so this whole thing just confused the fuck out of me, which is probably part of what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to say, guys, this is the collar that she wears, that she has many collars, and in a lot of the different clips you guys are trying to show, she's wearing different collars in all of them. So what, are you trying to say they all have shocking capabilities? I mean, I don't really know what the point is here. I guess that some of the clips that were being showed as being shocking ones, she was just wearing a different collar that wouldn't have had shocking capabilities. Either way, I just don't see it really being that. It's really not, like, you have to take his word for it in that case anyway, because her collar is so obfuscated by the amount of fur that she has, it's kind of hard to tell. All we have to go off of is kind of just the body language of him and Kaya.
Third group of people are the ones who are like, look at this clip, look at that clip, look at this clip. Like, it's obvious he's moving his arms around. Like, he's fucking constantly in a state of zapping. And they've moved away from the initial conversation, which was that, like, she didn't even have that collar on to begin with. And the only reason why I showed the collar was because people were clipping other instances.
October 17th. People start returning to Denham's initial defense of Hasan, where she said that the photo of him with the collar that was taped up was actually doctored and the tape wasn't real. A reminder that these people defending him all seem to have one trait in common, that they're all untrustworthy. October 18th, Hasan crashes out, talks about how he hates everything, he's black-pilled, we're never getting out of this. It's, uncomfy to watch. Jennifer Welch returns and is on the Taylor Lorenz show, explaining that the tight collar clip was actually just a misunderstanding, and that later on, Hasan let her, went, come here, come look at her neck's fucking fat, man. And she actually went and looked and went, oh, you know what? Actually, the fact that I couldn't get a finger through it, it makes a lot of sense, actually, and that's fine. It's fine, everything's fine. It was blown out of proportion.
We were doing a photo shoot with her, and then I brought it up to Hasan again. I said, you need to get her a bigger collar. And he goes, feel her neck fur. Come here, come here. And she's just, and then, she is so, her hair is so thick that he had to put it, and it really wasn't even tight because her hair is so freaking thick. But it bothered him.
I didn't mean to say that she was choking, okay? Hasan then takes his dog to an ice protest while he wears a press vest. October 20th, a vet comes out and says that Hasan's initial lies makes him lose credibility, and that they think it is animal abuse, allegedly, due to what they can see as neglecting the dog's needs and seemingly forcing the dog to stay in one place for multiple consecutive hours on end. And they explain this as that the more sedentary you are, or the longer you're sedentary, the less blood flow that kind of circulates in those areas, and so this is going to actually have an opposite effect on her joint issues or her predisposition to joint issues. And so really what you want is for your animal to be able to move around and increase the blood flow to those areas. October 21st, and this is kind of a warning that this is a little bit graphic. The video is far more graphic, I would say, but it will show something kind of graphic. Another clip surfaces of Hasan's dog Fish, the previous dog, having an open neck wound, which people believe could correspond with where the prong collar would sit on Fish's neck. October 22nd, Ludwig drops a bombshell of a clip saying that he thinks it was 100% a shock collar. He has no doubt, no uncertainty. It is 100% a shock collar, according to Ludwig. He's like, Hasan, he did that shit.
Do I think Hasan shocked his dog? I have no fucking clue. I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her. But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact. I feel like that shit is 100% a shock collar. But I got no clue. And I think when you come in and you say, oh no, you're going to get that Hasan collar now, I think like you are like genuinely pathetic. Like you are still pretending to live in a universe where it is like brave to speak out against Hasan, as if that is not like the popular side to be on.
And then on October 25th, as many of you may know, Ludwig then walks it back and says he was wrong and that he now believes that the collar is actually a vibration-only collar. And he says this because he had received photos after that stream where he said it was a shock collar, and the photos, they apparently cleared Hasan's name, except apparently we're not allowed to see the photos that exonerate him. This magical photo. Damn.
But I want to make sure if I know something, speak honestly. After my stream, I got close-up pictures of the shock collar. On my mother's life. I didn't see prongs. I'm pretty sure it's a vibrate collar. So maybe I should have said 99% sure instead of 100. I'm not making any other comments about whether he has a shock collar, has shocked her, whatever. I never made a comment saying he shocked her to begin with, but I just genuinely saw a picture of it after. It did have tape, and the tape was, I think it was covering or had his phone number on it or some shit. That's what the tape was. I think it was like covering a written. And I saw pictures on my mother's life. I saw a picture of it. Perhaps he went out and bought one. And this was a ruse to fool me, perhaps. Stop farming it. I'm not farming it, but like I genuinely saw it. So it's like, am I supposed to sit here and not say I saw it? Because I saw this after I did the stream. Should I lie? Should I lie and say I didn't? I don't love this shit, bro. I'm just genuinely sitting here as a human. I saw it with my own eyes. And I went on live saying that it was a shot caller. So now I'm saying I saw it with my own eyes.
And then on that very same day, in that same stream, I believe, Ludwig also talks about an interaction he had with XQC at TwitchCon. Apparently, they spoke in person about the incident with Shock Collar, and XQC, according to Ludwig, said that he didn't care about the dog getting shocked and it wasn't really anything that he cared about, and that Ludwig seems to think XQC is a chaotic, evil human being, and the only person who has been dramatizing this thing, like catapulting this controversy into a, I don't know, something that's been viewed more than it should have been. More on that in my next video.
And you know how I know that? Is because I talked to XQC at TwitchCon. This happened at TwitchCon. I talked to XQC at TwitchCon, all right? And XQC is probably the single biggest person who is driving the Collargate drama on Twitch, right? You know what XQC says to me at TwitchCon? He goes, I don't give a fuck if he abuses the dog. I don't give a fuck if he's a shot caller. He calls himself, when he's investigating what's happening, the debunker. He has an alter ego called the debunker. I think he finds genuine joy in flaming the drama. He's a chaotic, evil human. And seeing whatever smolders remain after he's done with his mess. Yeah, there's no genuine care behind. It's not, X not sitting there seeing a fucking injured bird on a walk going.
I will, however, read XQC's response to the whole thing. Don't mind the date on this. I'm in Australian time, so we're ahead by like a day. It's weird. So don't mind the dates if the dates confuse you. XQC responded to Ludwig's little tit-a-tat about him, and XQC said, this guy is something else entirely. I spoke with him IRL, in real life, for an hour about this. I literally said, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not the end of the world if he did shock it being Kaya. Yes, it's bad, but I'm not going to act like he killed someone. The lies and tactics are worse now. So, to conclude the video, I think that's kind of all there is to it with Collargate. We have just now more people kind of coming out and giving their opinions. More politicians are kind of mentioning Hasan, memeing about the whole incident. So I think that's kind of where we're going to leave it with Collargate. I have another video that's kind of like a second part to this video that'll come out next week, and it'll be more of like what I normally do, I guess you could say. So yeah, hopefully I can answer some questions that people might have, but I think this video is really important to watch first, just so you can see the sequence of events and understand kind of like what all the other, I guess, visual stuff people have seen and why it's led them to believe that it was a shock collar or there was a shocking incident. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I worked really hard on it. This is my second time making it. Very sad about that, but we'll get over it. Like I said, we will rebuild. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please give me a like and subscribe. Use my Epic Games code. Share the video. Do all that stuff. If you want to have your friends know what the hell you've been yapping on about for weeks now, the whole month, if anything, send them this video. Then they'll understand. Alright, bye!